been part of a strategic planning conversation, you've probably heard of a SWOT analysis, looking at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But have you heard of a SOAR analysis? In this video, I'm going to compare SWOT and SOAR analyses and talk about when each approach might be useful in higher education projects and strategic initiatives. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm Dr. Katie Linder, a certified project manager, change manager, and coach who works full-time leading and supporting teams in higher education. On this channel, I offer real-world examples of how project management translates into the higher ed environment. If you're looking for ways to use project management tools and skills, both professionally and personally, to bring more ease to your work and life, you're in the right place. Let's start with the more widely known framework, SWOT. SWOT stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. The SWOT framework helps teams evaluate both internal and external factors that could affect a project, department, or organization. The internal factors are strengths and weaknesses, and the external factors are opportunities and threats. In higher education, SWOT analyses are often used during strategic planning, program reviews, department retreats, or other large institutional initiatives. For example, a department might identify strengths as including strong faculty expertise or a well-regarded program, weaknesses as including limited staffing or outdated processes, opportunities as including new grant funding or emerging academic programs, and threats as including declining enrollment or increased competition. The goal of a SWOT analysis is to create a realistic picture of where an organization or project stands and what challenges it may face. A SOAR analysis is a newer strategic planning tool that takes a slightly different approach. SOAR stands for Strengths, Opportunities, Aspirations, and Results. Instead of focusing on weaknesses and threats, SOAR emphasizes a strengths-based and future-focused perspective. Here's what each component means. Strengths: what are we already doing well? Opportunities: where can we grow or innovate? Aspirations: what do we want our future to look like? And results: how will we measure success? SOAR analyses are often used in appreciative inquiry approaches, where the goal is to build momentum around what's working, rather than focusing primarily on problems. For example, if a campus is exploring a new online learning initiative, strengths might include experienced instructional designers and strong faculty interest. Opportunities might include expanding access for adult learners. Aspirations might include becoming a leader in flexible learning models. And results might include increased enrollment, improved retention, or stronger student satisfaction. Although these frameworks look similar, they serve slightly different purposes. The SWOT tool focuses on analysis and risk awareness. It helps organizations identify potential problems or barriers early so they can plan accordingly. Alternatively, the SOAR tool focuses on vision and possibility. It encourages teams to think about what they want to build and how they will measure progress toward those goals. Another key difference is tone and group dynamics. SWOT discussions sometimes become heavily focused on problems, which can stall momentum. SOAR discussions tend to be more energizing because they highlight strengths and future goals. That doesn't mean one tool is better than the other. They simply serve different purposes. Here are some situations where each approach might work well. Use a SWOT analysis when you need a realistic risk assessment. You're evaluating an existing program or initiative, you're preparing for external competition or environmental change, or you're doing strategic planning that requires identifying challenges. Some examples of where to use a SWOT analysis might include program viability reviews, budget planning discussions, or market analysis for new academic programs. Alternatively, you would want to use a SOAR analysis when you want to build team engagement and momentum, you're visioning future initiatives, you're leading a collaborative planning process, or you're trying to move a team toward possibility thinking. Some examples of where to use a SOAR analysis might include strategic retreats, innovation initiatives, change management conversations, or team planning sessions. In many cases, teams actually use both tools at different stages of a project or planning process. If you're leading a meeting or workshop, both SWOT and SOAR can be facilitated in a similar way. You might divide participants into small groups, assign each group one category to brainstorm, have groups report back to the larger team, cluster similar ideas together, and then identify themes or priorities. The key is creating a structured conversation that helps participants move from individual ideas to shared understanding. These frameworks can be especially helpful in higher education settings where decisions often involve multiple perspectives and stakeholder groups. Both SWOT and SOAR analyses are powerful tools for strategic thinking and project planning. SWOT helps you understand risks and realities, while SOAR helps teams imagine possibilities and future outcomes. Depending on your goals and the tone you want to set for the conversation, you might choose one framework or use both to guide your planning process. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you used SWOT or SOAR in your work? And which approach did you find most helpful? And if you're interested in more ways to apply project management tools and strategies in higher education, be sure to subscribe to the channel for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.